Hello everybody, I am Jedi Jack Penguin and welcome back to another LEGO Disney 100 review. Today we're going to be looking at set number 43227, Villain Icons. This set includes 1,540 pieces, retailing for $129.99 when it released on June 1st of 2023. Now this is going to be one of two 18 plus sets for Disney 100 releasing this year, not counting our direct-to-consumer, which will be a remake of the last Disney castle, but with a lot of prince and princess minifigures, which will be very desirable. But anyways, just had to get this on release because I have to support LEGO making minifigure sets, and it's really amazing to see some of these characters for the very first time, specifically Gaston in minifigure form. I really would love to get more Beauty and the Beast LEGO sets with minifigures in future, hopefully. Now, if you couldn't tell, this is an 18 plus set with the black box art, the gray bling at the bottom, your Disney 100 logo at the top, and that green smoke around the model. I really love how they included that. That's something a little bit unique that we don't see on a lot of the other 18 plus sets. Mostly it's blue or just white light behind them, but the green smoke I think really works for villains. Spinning us around to the back, we get another alternate angle of the builds included, your measurements, and even just some closer looks at some of the hidden details. Another feature that I absolutely love about this box is that we actually get the animated versions of all of the minifigures featured from the side, which is just really great that they were able to include that on the box art. Opening up the box, we have quite a lot of bags in here, numbered 1 through 13, bag number 4 featuring 2. You'll also get this handy dandy folder, which will include your stickers and instruction manual. This set includes 2 sticker sheets, one of which for the film reel inside the VHS tape for The Little Mermaid, which I think is really just wow. I'm so happy that they were able to include that as a small little reference inside. It's just really interesting to see that they decided to do that. And we have another one which will feature some of the other stuff like the books and for the VHS tape yet again. LEGO finally doing something right with their instructions, or at least the white looks better than the black for this particular set when it comes to that. From the back side you get your Disney logo, win information, piece count for a few pages here. Now, one of the best parts of the instructions for these 18 plus display sets is the information from the front. We get some details talking about Disney villains, and also LEGO has to say that they plan on being environmentally friendly. Whether or not this set will be affected by that, who is to say? We get some details talking about some of the villains and some of their icons featured in this set, only 4 of which appear as minifigures. And the man himself, Marcus Besa, one of my favorite LEGO designers. It's great to see that he designed a lot of the new Disney sets and is really bringing the theme into a wonderful direction, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future. You can pause and read this if you're interested. And we have some words from the graphic designer of this set. Again, just such a vital role from LEGO, and it's also really interesting to see those figure designs. That's really nice that they were able to include that shot. And then a nice, beautiful picture of our minifigures, which we'll be talking about right now. To start off our minifigure selection, we have a brand new variant of the Evil Queen disguised as the Old Hag. We get brand new prints for the skirt leading up to the torso, and even for the facial expression, which is double-sided. We see the return of that hood piece that we saw in 2019 from LEGO Star Wars, red apple for the poison apple, amazing. You also get some back printing for the torso, and as I said, double-sided facial expression, one with an evil grin. And from the other side, you get a concerned look when it's not really going to plan. I also really like how they have the hair printed on the torso. It does look very nice for printing a lighter color on a darker surface. And I also did want to bring out our good friend, the Evil Queen from the collectible minifigures series, just so then you can take a quick comparison between these guys. Not really figure to compare, but same person, just a disguise for this set. My oh my, does Maleficent get a glow up in this set. Not only do we have the actual minifigure legs skirt piece compared to just the slope that we saw in the last version, but as a whole I just think the coloring is a lot more accurate using this lighter purple color. You get the printing for the skirt leading up to the torso. You also get a new under the neck accessory, which looks very similar to the one that we saw in the CMF. It's just a little bit more pointy. Get some back printing, brand new facial expression, and even a new headdress piece, which is new as of 2020. We saw it in the mini doll version compared to the one that we saw with the collectible minifigures version, which doesn't look as shiny as this one. This one is definitely a lot more shinier. You can see just the glow of the lights in the background of my room on that headdress piece compared to this one, which is a soft plastic, or at least I'm pretty sure. Another thing to note is that we actually get an extra cape from the back of this version, which I think it's fine that they didn't include the rest of the cape from the back of this figure. I definitely think the under the neck accessory is enough. One thing that I would have liked to have seen, however, is maybe another facial expression, though I get why they didn't do it because it wouldn't look nice with the back of the headdress piece there. And I also have to point out the design for the staff, which is very different compared to the one that we saw in the CMF, where we got a yellow gem, though this one being a lot more accurate with the translucent green one. We have seen Jafar once before in LEGO form, and now we're actually seeing him again, though in his evil genie representation from the very end of Aladdin. We get some brand new prints for that genie bottom piece. You get arm prints for the wrist bands, those restraints from being in the little teeny tiny living space. You get the printing for the abs and even the brand new print for the facial expression. Now we also get a stud with a hole from the very top to add on the hairpiece, which is something that we actually saw from LEGO Ninjago way back when, so nothing special about that. Though something that I think is really cool about this figure is the fact that we also get a brand new recolor for the little teapot, which is really great to see it come in this gunmetal gray color. Works very well for a much more evil genie compared to the gold, which we saw for our good friend Genie over here. Just a quick comparison so then you can see the wristbands and just the coloring as a whole. It's just amazing to see how these figures were really designed. I'll also bring out the original Jafar just so then you can see them side by side as well. Definitely really love this figure, one of my favorites within the Series 2 collectible minifigures. When I was a lad, I ate 4 dozen eggs every morning to help me get large. And now that I'm grown, I eat 5 dozen eggs, so I'm roughly the size of a barge. No figure in this set excited me more than getting Gaston. I am really happy to be getting Beauty and the Beast minifigures. I really would love to see Belle and the Beast and just more from that movie in minifigure scale. I just think it would be amazing. We get side leg printing. We don't get dual molded legs, which would have been nice to see, though I guess it's fine budget wise. You get dual molded arms, which look great. You get those yellow gloves. And also just the printing for the torso, it looks very good. Also that big grin on his face, just fantastic. You also get a new recolor for this hairpiece, which was introduced in the Pirates of the Caribbean theme, which works well for his figure. Back printing to help define. And we also get a double-sided facial expression, one with that big grin, and another one where he's arguing with Belle to make her his wife. The villain icons as a whole is a little small for $130. I honestly would not have minded if they actually included all of the villains that they're representing here. I know we got the Queen of Hearts in the collectible minifigure series, though I would have really liked to have seen Ursula and Captain Hook to join this lineup. I think that would have made this such a fun set. On top of that, it is annoying that they aren't here, considering that they actually show all of these villains within the instructions. But anyways, we got through our minifigure selection. I think it's a really great, solid selection of figures. Obviously, anyone would want more for the price that they're paying, but I think this is good enough, all of which are exclusive, and I'm really excited to see what else we can get. And also, it just adds to our line of Disney villains, and we've gotten pretty much every Disney villain minus a few. And we're only a year into getting Disney minifigure sets, so I just think LEGO did a wonderful job there. But getting into our build, we have a lot of small builds that combine into something that is also rather small, and I'll be doing a comparison to the Hogwarts icons later on in this video, just so then you can see that. But another thing about this set is that we get a lot of really nice prints. Starting over here, we have our one reference to Peter Pan, that being the pocket watch for Captain Hook. You get a brand new print from the front of this circular plate piece where you get the studs in the middle in order to add that jumper plate, which will help attach the little hands on the clock, which you can move any way you want with their clip piece connections, which is really nice that they were able to do that. And again, just the references to Peter Pan, them putting the children and Peter Pan on the watch. I really love that they were able to do that, and also the shine to this print. It's really cool and amazing. Another thing that I want to talk about is just the building on the side, and the clip piece connections for this is really cool. Use one of these ring pieces, which was introduced in LEGO Dots. And from the very back, just for no mistake that this is based off Captain Hook and Peter Pan, we have the hook itself for Captain Hook. The smallest of builds, though, the next one that we build up in this set is for the Queen of Hearts playing card from Alice in Wonderland. We get two brand new prints, one of which on this 2x6 tile piece for the Q and the heart, and a little decal at the top, which you use twice from both the top and the bottom. And then we get this 6x6 tile print with the Queen of Hearts herself, the same design that we see in the collectible minifigures, and even the same facial expression, which I'll show a picture up on screen now because I forgot to bring her downstairs. But anyways, you get some plate pieces from the back just to make sure that all of these tile pieces stick together, and I think it works rather well. I'm really interested to see if LEGO ever decides to make playing cards themselves in this design. I think it would be really funny to have a bunch of these in a set as like a set of playing cards or something. I don't know. Time to get wicked with the evil queen. You may think this is an ordinary everyday apple, though don't be fooled. It's a poison apple. Oh my gosh, that's just so cool. We get these larger slope pieces from the side, which are really cool to get. This one in particular only coming within the current Ninjago City set, I believe. This one also isn't too common, coming in that giant buildable Mickey and Minnie set. I like how they use the clip piece connection for the very top with the leaf, and then the stem design including a black sausage is really funny. And then really the most silly thing that I have to say about this set, as far as the entire build goes, it does feel as if this is a burying ground for all of the villains, because you can bury them, and like that's what I consider this. You're burying the figures into these coffins. You get this coffin-like design for your minifigures, this one for the evil queen. You can plop in like such, making sure the apple is loose. And you can plop this right back on top of those two studs there to close up the apple. Yeah, it's really funny. And when I go into detail here where you can hide the other figures, it's just really silly in my opinion, and that's just the first thing that came up in my mind, that you're practically burying these characters into their nostalgic icons. Now with those smaller details out of the way, we have the main assembly. This is really the only other part that can be removed, as we get these two bits down here to connect to those ball joints. So we're going to move this out of the way, and we're going to talk VHS tapes. Now, I did actually bring some from my own collection. Unfortunately, I don't have any of these movies, so we'll be looking at Toy Story 1 and 2. Going with the better movie, you know, I just think it's really funny looking at these side by side. That just the size that LEGO is able to capture with this, it's just perfect in my opinion in the scale. I'm really happy with it. Of course, this not being the most detailed front compared to what LEGO is able to provide with a sticker saying The Little Mermaid VHS 1989. That is just really cool. I really wish they were able to include all of this information, though of course, yeah, they wouldn't be able to do that. Now, another really neat thing about this is the play feature, in which you can actually open up the very top to see like the film reel, which are all stickers, which we'll look closely at in a minute, though this is actually accurate to the real thing. Hopefully I'm not going to break it or anything by doing this, but you can sort of see that this is like a flap that would open up. Again, as far as design goes, LEGO just did such a wonderful job with this set, and it just blows my mind how they were able to capture this, and even just like the placement of these holes down here. I just think that's really so cool, just the design of this. And if that wasn't enough, I did want to show that you can actually place this. It's a snug fit, but this does actually fit within a VHS case, though it may be a lot bigger, say, than the VHS cases that we see in the model. We'll bring it out yet again when we look closer at those, but again, it's just so interesting to see this design. It's also quite complicated as far as lots of building on this side, and just a lot of the different building techniques in here and how they were able to create this front window look here, where we use those window panes in plain white and also these wall elements in trans clear that feature yet again of being able to lift up this part completely to reveal the film reel, which are all stickers. I would have loved to have seen these as prints, but even so, this is just so cool to see how they were able to capture just some of the small scenes that are memorable within this film. Just this iconic moment right here, I think a lot of fans are really going to be happy about, when the statue is found under the water by Flounder, and then these two together using the fork in the hair, which is really funny, kiss the girl scene, and then the big finale with Ursula, giant in the ocean. For those of you wondering why I know so much about this movie, I did actually watch it for the second time ever in my life the other day, so that was a lot of fun. Also did want to bring out our minifigure of Ursula, just so that you can see some slight comparisons in their design, which they look very, very similar. I definitely prefer how they actually did her here. It looks like they might have used the flesh tone color for the torso, which I think would be a really interesting way to create this figure. Also did want to bring Ariel out, because I bought her recently off eBay, so you can just take a look at her design compared to the one that you see over here. And we have yet to get Prince Eric, who we may see in the Disney castle if LEGO is nice enough to include him, though, I mean, considering all the Little Mermaid stuff that we've gotten, I wouldn't be surprised if Ariel and Prince Eric are two more of those characters included in that Disney castle, which has yet to be revealed as of the time of me recording this. Back to the main assembly, all of this is really attached to each other, except for, I guess, this piece over here, which you can easily just slide out and see all the ugly Technic bits from the back side, which is just down here mainly. You can see the side of the Beauty and the Beast book and just how this connects with the Technic pins and the Technic axle connections. Might as well look at this one because you can detach it from the rest of the builds. We get another brand new print here on this 6x8 oval tile with the words Disney Sleeping Beauty. Get the spinning wheel, and just the decorations around this is just so amazing. I'm so happy with that. We have a few different like dots techniques here to build Maleficent. I also really like how they did her staff here, which is a different design than the one that we actually get for the minifigure, though I do appreciate using those melon slice tile pieces there just for like the glow of the staff. I think that's really cool. Just like some of the other builds here, you can lift this up to reveal a spot to bury your minifigure of Maleficent. You remove her staff just to make it a little bit easier on her. There you go. This is supposed to represent another VHS case, and I think LEGO did a wonderful job designing it. Of course, it's not 100% accurate to what the actual Sleeping Beauty VHS looks like. I'll plop one on screen now just so then you can see that comparison of the front. Though, really, what is probably my favorite parts of these is the fact that they were able to capture the sides so well. Because if you don't know, from the sides of Disney VHS tapes, they always had this little square with the character in it, and they captured that very well by including Maleficent in that square down there. and then you get the name of the film. Though this one is a little bit different, instead of having the stuff up at the top here, which I'll show an example of up on screen now, we happen to get instead another brand new print for this year on this 2x4 tile piece with the Disney 100, and also just having like the little castle there. I love that. That is just such a perfect spot for that particular piece. Again, just moving back down here, these are all stickers with the Disney Sleeping Beauty and just the 4x4 tile piece with Maleficent from the side. Before I move on, I did want to say that these aren't exactly to scale as far as the VHS case goes, though definitely the VHS is in perfect scale. Lego just made it a little bit smaller just so then it would just pretend to fit in there. It works in the Lego universe, though of course in real life that's just not exactly possible. I love just the scaling of this, it's perfect. To finish us off, we have our last VHS case, which follows the same design that we saw for the Sleeping Beauty one. As far as the side design goes, where you get that printed 2x4 tile piece with the Disney 100, sticker for Disney's Aladdin, and sticker for the side character where we have Jafar, which is a great likeness to the one that we got within the collectible minifigures series back in series 2, though one thing I might note is that staff looks a little bit different, and I wouldn't mind them giving us a brand new mold for the staff. And also, while I'm at it, the design that they had for Maleficent's staff was also different on this design, though the minifigure being very similar to the one that we actually got. I just think it's interesting that the staff designs are different here. Maybe that means Lego's working on something, who's to say. But looking at the back side of this, you get a very similar design to the Sleeping Beauty one. However, you can't actually swap them because this part right here is part of the Beauty and the Beast book. But before we get to that, we have our nice burial ground for Jafar. You can plop him in here and close it all up. Now, talking about this section here, we have a plate and tile design for Jafar. This particular piece coming for the very first time in that color, which is pretty nice. And you happen to get these ball joints, which work in part with the Little Mermaid VHS tape. Now on to my favorite part of this set, we have the Beauty and the Beast book. We get another brand new recolor with these slope pieces in brown, which we used 3 times to create the binding of the book, where we get these really nice stickers here. Specifically down here you can see the little Rose and Lumiere and Cogsworth and the name Disney Beauty and the Beast. Now down here we get one of our hidden features for this book. Yes, we actually happen to get 2. This one being the coffin burial grounds for Gaston, so you can bury him down here. I also really love just the coloring down here. Adding that pop of yellow works very well. And now for our other feature, which you may notice from the back side, we have a little gap here. We can flip up this part of the book, and you can't see that. I really hope this is a sign that we're getting more Beauty and the Beast sets, but I'm so happy that they were able to include the one rose right here, and just the building techniques that they used for that, using that particular stem piece with the flower stud. Wow, I'm so happy with it. And even getting the curtains from the very back, just the design for that, I'm so happy with as a hidden feature. And they did not need to include that by any means, because we don't get anything really too special other than the burying grounds for our minifigures otherwise. So, I mean, thank you Lego for including that small detail. Same thing for just including the tape within the VHS. That's another detail that wasn't necessary, but Lego went all out and included that, which I think makes this a really special set for Disney fans. So overall, for $130, is this set worth it? I mean, the minifigure selection is all exclusive. You get 5 brand new prints total. We also get references to all of these Disney movies: Aladdin, Sleeping Beauty, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Alice in Wonderland, Snow White, and even Peter Pan. It's really crazy to see all of these movies represented in one set. Now, for the price you pay, the set does feel a little small compared to the Hogwarts icons, which I'll throw right next to it right now, so you can take a look at these two sets side by side. For sure, the scaling for these items is practically the same as far as just the sizing of the apple compared to the wand and such. I think the sizing of the VHS tape itself is perfect to the real thing, and it's just mind-boggling how that can actually fit within the VHS cases that are actually the real ones, compared to the VHS cases here, which aren't exactly to scale to those, which honestly, what can you do? I think LEGO did a wonderful job still just creating the bindings for these. They look really nice with just the picture, the character, and the logos. I also do really hope this is a tease for more Beauty and the Beast sets, because I honestly would really love to get Belle and the Beast in minifigure form. And again, it's just comes down to, are you a die-hard Disney fan? Do you love Disney villains? This set is definitely for you if you're into that. I, for one, am so happy to see minifigure scale Disney sets, so I just had to get this set day one. I think it's a wonderful display piece and just something with lots of really interesting nostalgic items. Like the VHS tapes is just something that is so interesting to see LEGO include in a set these days. I don't think a lot of kids know what those are. I, for one, remember DVDs a lot more than I do VHS tapes, but I know that I had them back in the day, and I know I have a few of them still at home with some of my favorite films. So yeah, that's all that I have to say for this video. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, what your thoughts are on this set. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so every time I upload a new video. So yeah, that's it for now, and I will see you next time. Bye!